with the Kraton EXB 8S 5th scale from Arrma. Wait for YouTube to kind of catch up to send out some notifications and stuff. Always takes them a minute. It's kind of weird with YouTube and their whole algorithm and what they're doing with that. But if you guys join in, let me know how the quality looks. We are on a Wi-Fi, so it should be a lot better quality than normally when I try to go live when we're running. So I see one or two people kind of, excuse me, joining on. What's going on, Stewie? What's going on, RC Daniel? Stewie beat you, man. He beat you by like 0.03 of a second. What's going on? Addicted to RC as well. You guys check out each other's channels too, as you guys are kind of seeing each other on there. What's up, CT? What's going on, y'all? We're going live with this for a short period of time. I might have to turn the light on or something in here to make this more visible. Let's see real quick. There. Gonna show all the dirt and dust on it too. What's going on, David? I'm assuming the thumbs up is that the quality's pretty good, so I think sometimes it's like So Addicted to RC said he sent this Kraton yesterday. So if you guys have one, let me know. I know Addicted to RC's got one as well. And like I said, me and my boy, we got one. He got his Sunday and he called me up and we were just like two little schoolgirls out there just kind of geeking out and running and stuff. So we're gonna basically just talk about this truck a little bit as well. What's going on, RC Guy Garage? I may not, you guys know that I do watch you guys' channels. I may not always comment, but I watch you guys' channels all the time. And you guys put up good content and stuff, so I do watch them. So don't think that I don't. Sometimes it's late at night because I burn the midnight oil as well. So what's going on, Alex? What's going on, RC Master? So I'm here doing this. We'll probably just go live for about 30 minutes. I want to answer any questions and show you guys some stuff up close that you want to see with this. That's the purpose of going live. It's all about you guys. It ain't about me talking this and that. I want to know which questions you guys may have about this truck and try to answer them and show you guys anything up close you may want to take a look at, whatever it may be. So let the questions fly. Or y'all want me just to start rambling and then y'all just kind of butt in and say what you want to say? It's up to y'all. So first question kind of is what's broken? The only thing that broke on this was the front part of this bumper so far. And I'll get close up with that in just a second. Up in here, it kind of broke down where that bumper's at. It's got a crack in there. And that's from landing headfirst a couple of times, especially when I was at the other spot the other day and I was running and jumping and that cracked. Other than that, nothing else has broken on this. And I ran it harder than I normally run my other cars. And I did that for the reason of I did want to test it. I didn't want to just, run it pretty mildly and, not jump it and take it out there. So yeah, RC Fun. So I'm going to talk about the gearing and I'll show this to you guys real quick as well. So basically, you guys know I went in and I put this 800 kV motor in it. What you got to do is you got to basically unscrew, of course, this center mount and pull all that out. You got to take these out too to get to that. And I put the 800 kV motor in it and I put the 39 tooth spur gear in it as well. So, and I took the spool from the Limitless and put that on because that's the only thing I had currently that's got an 8mm that can fit on this 8mm shaft motor. And that gearing was real high. So you guys saw how it ran. But after about, I don't know, 6 minutes of running, it did overheat. I mean, it kind of shut down. I turned it back on and I ran again. You guys, you kind of saw that in the video. But I'm going to leave that gearing on just to try a super speed Saturday test with this. But it did overheat. So I think that probably between, unless I change the ESC out, I probably need to go down to about a 28 or 27 with that gearing and with this type of motor in there. So Uh, DC, nothing broke. The only thing that actually I guess you could say that broke is you see this bumper. It's got cracks in it. And in the first video I did, when my friend actually jumped and he landed head first on it, he cracked his too. So that's the only thing that's broken on this. Chassis isn't bent, and I'll turn that over in just a minute and show that to you guys as well. Chassis, everything isn't bent. You guys can see that there. You guys can see, because normally the chassis bends, you guys can see those dog bones kind of wobbling around as well. Those drive shafts, you see they're not wobbling things. So nothing's really broke on it. I did take it out, like I said, I did run it and stuff, and that may have been why. Gotta look at a couple things with that, but yeah, everything was good after the run. Um, like I said, I haven't had any problem. I did change out the servo for a different servo. I kind of want to bump this ESC up to 7.4 volts, but this only goes 6.0 and then it goes straight to 8.4. I'm not sure why Spectrum did that, but hopefully they'll do a running update or something and come out with a different version that can do 6.0, 7.4, and 8.4 volts for these servos. That's going to really help because a lot of servos can't do 8.4 volts. They'll end up burning up. The one I got in here is 6 or 7.4. I don't think it does 8.4 volts, and I don't want to burn it up. So everything else, like I said, has been nice for it. I think that what they've done to this, and I should have got the other Kraton and stuff out, but I just having all that out here is going to just take up a lot of room. So you guys see everything is kind of beefed up on here. I did see, I don't know what his name was. I saw him running a video and he did break his rear A arm on it, but he did land hard on it. I mean, if any car you're going to jump 30, 40, 20 feet up in the air, you kind of land on that. It's nothing's going to be indestructible. But I did see that he broke his. I haven't broken mine. I did land on mine. You know, I did cartwheel stuff a couple times as well. So I did land on mine. Nothing broke with it. So what's going on? Gaps in the house. He said he just ran his on. He just test ran his as well. Yeah, it's something. It does run. I think it does run better than the version 1. I forgot the brand of the servo. You'll have to go back to the video where I first put this up and you guys will see the brand of the servo I put up on there for them. I'm trying to get this camera to stay still a little bit. But it was like $45. I think it was $47 shipped from Amazon. And it's got like 800 or 900 ounces of torque. And the speed and stuff is ridiculous. And that's why I got it. It's not really water resistant, so I can't submerge it in water. But it will resist a little bit of water there for it. But I don't really plan on jumping this and taking it across a lake or anything like that. But it was like $45 for it, so. So the truck has held up well. It is going to be faster than the version 1. And one of the reasons is because of the tires. The tires are a lot bigger than the version 1 tires. And that does make a difference because it's the diameter of the tires. And of course, there's mathematics behind that. So it is going to be a little faster than that as well. And they are beefier as well. So I may try to do some speed tests with the Spectrum system in it, but we'll see. We'll see. Trying to see if I can get something to mount this camera up high so you guys can see the inside of this. Because I know some people are thinking, oh, the chassis got bent, etc., etc. It didn't. Everything has been fine thus far. I'm kind of done with my I guess, bashing test for this, trying to see if I'm going to break the truck or not. I wasn't really trying to break it, but I was going to run a little bit harder than that, so. But I'm open to questions you guys may have for this. Any questions at all? See my hand. I think tomorrow's going to hit in the lower 50s. I'm thinking between 52 to 55, but we'll see. I'm going to run. I got some Gen 8 8000s I'm going to run up in here. So I'll put those in here to run on the Super Speed Saturday tomorrow. So Alex, that's going to depend on what motor you're going to run with it as well. If this thing would stop moving, I think we'd be good to go. Get this to tighten down somewhat. Okay, you just gonna turn that way regardless. So we're gonna adjust this a little bit and put this here. Get that going there. Try to get that stable somewhat. So people have asked, and I've seen this before in the comments. I'll answer it live. People say either this or the X-Maxx. So when people compare the X-Maxx to a Kraton, even though they're both fifth scale, they're different trucks. One's a monster truck, one's a truggy. So they're gonna have their ups and they're gonna have their downs for it. I mean, it's just that plain and simple for it. I like both trucks. I like the X-Maxx for what it's worth, and I like the Kraton for what it's worth. If you had to choose only one, if you're going between this one and the X-Maxx, it's your first one, you got to consider the money you want to put into it, because this is a roller, so you do have to get electronics for it. Where the X-Maxx comes ready to run, but I've heard of people having problems with the X-Maxx as well with the electronics. Once they gear, my X-Maxx is still stock out the box as far as electronics are concerned, because I didn't change the gearing on it. But once you start changing that gearing on that X-Maxx, you will start having some heat issues, and you have to replace the ESC and stuff. So I like them both. That's me right there. I'm not gonna say, oh, the X-Maxx is better, or oh, the Kraton's better. I like both the trucks. I like them for what they were created for. So I hope that's just my answer to that question. So I hope that kind of answers that for you. What's going on? Somebody said they remember the demolition derby I had in the parking lot. Are you talking about the one in Hobbytown? We had a demolition. So Hobbytown in Kennesaw, Georgia, had an event one day, and they had a demolition derby. And I brought my Outcast out. I re-geared it. If you're talking about that, when I brought my Outcast out, I re-geared it. I think I put an 11-tooth pinion gearing on a 6S, and I was just killing it. So, yep, that was the orange. I'm going through the comments now. So he's talking about the demolition derby I did a while back. This was, dang, that was like 3 years ago, I think it was. So Shane said he's just looking at durability. Now, it's going to depend on how you run it. I mean, if you're taking it to a skate park and you're jumping at 30 feet in the air and hitting on concrete, you will eventually start damaging some stuff with it, because you're landing straight on concrete. I mean, think about if you jumped your real car 6 inches off the ground, you're going to damage something. Or if you jump at 3 inches, you kept doing or hitting speed bumps, eventually something's going to break and damage on there. Now, the bigger tires do help. They really do with the jumping and stuff. Like when you're landing and stuff, these tires are absorbing a lot of that impact. You guys saw when I was at that BMX track and I was running and jumping up there. You guys saw that although it was landing hard, the tires helped. So I think that, as what Arrma always does, is they kind of listen and read the comments and see what people are saying. They do improvements, and these tires are a big improvement, especially if you're trying to jump and stuff. Yep, Boxing Square. I'm just reading your comments as well. So I think that video is somewhere in the archive. I think if you guys search my channel, look for a demolition derby or something, you'll see where I had that Outcast and I was just trying to. I think I even something came loose or something at one point, and I just kept running it. So Tiny Adventures RC, you guys know that I've mentioned them several times. They're gonna have an event, and this camera's sliding again, in April 15, 16, and 17. It's gonna be a weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They're gonna do a swap meet, and they're gonna have events like that as well. So you guys stay tuned for some information. I think I know why this is sliding. Let me adjust this a little bit. So stay tuned for some information on that. I will be up there for that, and we're gonna have several things going. So, all right, let's see. So DC Nurse Talk said he got a version 2. He's got the sway bars, 25-tooth pinion gear on there. Servo, okay. You got yours pretty much hooked up then. Alphabet 7 said, could you make a video with the 8S system in the normal EXB? I think I saw you ask you that earlier. I don't want to run 8S in that. I can almost get the same performance that I want with the 6S system I have up in there. And that's just me. I think there's several people that actually did that on YouTube. So if you search YouTube, you'll see people that did it. But I mean, that's just, to me, that's just overkill. That's like running a 3S car and putting 6S in, like, or putting a 4S system in a Rust and stuff and trying to run it off road. It's just kind of overkill for you. You can do it for speed, but that's all it's going to be for. And I just don't want to mess that up like that. So Oh yeah, damn, RC said I won that. Yeah, I did. Yeah, DC is making his own XB. He's EXB. He is putting his own parts in there. So Shane said, what about the drivetrain? You think they're about similar as far as durability? If you're talking about as far as the Kraton 6S when that was released and this one, it's not. I haven't had any diff issues. I've run this truck about 10 times. I mean, I've run it off a video as well, and I haven't had any diff issues. And I was purposely doing wheelies and actually just doing crazy stuff just to see how the internal gear stuff would hold up, and they've held up well. So I haven't had any issues with it, so thus far. Does it have droop screws in the arms? That is a good question. I think it does, and it should. Let's check real quick. I can't see down up in there. I don't think it does. I don't see any. I do see somewhat of a hole there. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. There's this chair back here squeaking, if you guys can hear all that, but I don't see any droop screws though on here. So hopefully that answered your question with that. No droop screws. Trying to tighten this thing up so it's not continuously moving real quick. I think I got it just about as tight as it'll go. There we go. All right. Other videos are showing the rear passenger side sway arm snapping. I did see somebody break the rear A arm. They were jumping and they kind of landed on it. It did snap. It was a bad. It actually landed all the way on it. So considering this is a 30-pound truck and then you kind of land like that, that's probably going to happen. So I like out of all this one, my Outcast and my Kraton. I have a version 1 and version 2. I did. I went to my hobby shop. I support my local hobby dealer, and I went out and I bought a version 2 Kraton. I just haven't had time to get all those big boys out and run them and stuff. But I haven't broken not one A arm on it, and it's probably because when I jump, I try to control it as well. And sometimes things happen and people jump and they can't control it, and it does land on it, and it can break. And there are updates for it. I mean, RPM makes them for it. But I'd rather try to avoid breaking that if I can. I think I've broken wing mounts and stuff before on it. But then again, you got to remember 30 pounds landing on there. So, sorry. So you guys are saying a couple things in here. Don't run 8S and just run 6S. I have searched it. No one has, yeah. I mean, my Kraton EXB, I have it pretty much set up like I like to have that. So, what's going on, Mr. Mad 2424? Stewie Griffith said he took his Outcast 8S for a run today. 8S out for a run today. Yeah, the weather's getting warm, so RC car weather is returning. They actually have a race tomorrow at a local track here. And I just was trying to get by there, but y'all, I stopped racing a long time ago because it takes so much time. But I really want to try to get some of these cars on the track. Of course, this would tear that track up. They would shun me if I took this to the track. But so they both have spiral cut gears and stuff in the differential. And I don't know if you guys know the difference between spiral cut gears and straight cut. If you guys want to hear the explanation, just somebody asked and I'll kind of explain that to you. I think I might explain it a while back when I had my Mugen 7. They came with the Mugen 8, the MBX 7 versus the 8, because there was an experiment I guess Mugen did and they found the differences in the two. So what's going on, Chris? Trying to scroll down through a couple of these. So somebody asked what I'm sorry, I don't want to butcher your name. But you asked me what diff fluid I run in my 6S EXB. I just got 100K in there. I haven't went up. I actually put 100 all the way around. I think I actually did. It's been so long since I've had to work on it. I think it's 100K all the way around in the front, center, and rear differential for it. So RC Daniel said why Outcast comes with a wheelie bar, the Kraton 8S doesn't. Probably because the Outcast is shorter wheelbase chassis, and it is going to wheelie a lot more than this one. You can add a wheelie bar. I actually have one from I got some stuff here. Let me get this box. I got some stuff from RC Speed Monsters, Jeff, and I just haven't put them on yet because I want to actually put some of that stuff on here. But I do have a wheelie bar to put on here. I could probably get that and show that to you guys. I did that kind of an unboxing, so. Yeah, the front bumper is cracked. I did mention that. If you look at the front bumper, that is cracked. I mean, I landed on that a lot. Every time I think I've driven it, I think I've just been kind of playing around, especially off camera. So that is cracked. That is busted. I'm not even gonna lie about that. That is busted. I don't plan on replacing it because it's just gonna break again. Possibly what you could do is get some foam and set that inside there, just to give that some more cushioning and stuff. So I may talk about that or do that at some point. But like for instance, on the Mojave, the the body posts tend to rip off. So a remedy for that is to kind of pack them with foam so it gives us some more stability and stuff. It's still going to flex a little bit, but it's not going to flex as much if nothing was there. So if you get one of these, maybe look at putting some foam or something in here to fill these up. I wouldn't put too much so that it wouldn't be, so it's not going to be front heavy when you jump. But if you don't want this to crack, I would recommend doing something like that with it. So. No, Chris, I haven't. I think you might have asked me that in the comments too. You asked me about a Hobby Wing 8 scale setup. I haven't checked that out yet. So what's going on, the Germ? Welcome in, welcome in. We started. We're just basically, if you guys are just now joining, I'm just basically trying to answer questions about this beast. Show you guys any close-ups you want to see about it and answer, and just I guess tell you about the driving experience of it. So. Yep, Shugu is like the Gorilla Tape of fixing. So Shane said if you're taking big jumps, the X-Maxx will be more durable because it's lighter. Not necessarily. Taking jumps is going to depend on the driver, and it really does. Whether it's a heavier truck or not. If you do not know how to drive, and it also depends on where you're jumping it at as well. I mean, you guys seen this. I've driven this and I've driven my X-Maxx. I've driven them both the same. And I think, well, I broke an arm because I hit a tree. That this tree jumped out in front of me, y'all, and I hit a tree and broke an arm on my X-Maxx. But other than that, I really haven't busted my cars like jumping them like that. And I don't jump them. I don't really jump them that much like that. I mean, when I took it to the BMX track, you guys saw me jumping it there. And it all depends on the landing of it. Now, the guy that was with me, Jeff, when he was jumping his and landing his, he did land. I didn't. I should probably edit that video and put it up because we had some crazy landings out there. I mean, it was something. He was cartwheeling and everything, but he put it through his test, and it survived through it. I mean, I need to try to edit that video and put it up so you guys can see. 'Cause there's a lot more to that video than what I showed the very first running video. Because I really did run this truck hard today. I was like all out, just jumping it and flipping it and everything because I wanted to make sure and test the durability. I ran it harder than I did my version 1 or version 2. So I know that was pretty long-winded, but it does depend on it does depend on the driver a lot. I mean, when you're doing those super big jumps, you want to land on your tires. You really do. I mean, you really want to try to land as flat as you can. You don't want to land at angles. You really don't want to land on the front or the rear, and you especially don't really want to continue to land on throttle. So. Oh, Shane, we're not saying you don't know how to drive. I'm just saying a lot of people say, a lot of people see that. The thing that cracks me up is that, and I'll just put this out. This is just me. Over the last couple years, RC cars have went from driving and jumping 10 feet in the air, maybe 15 or a little bit more, to 30, 40, 50 feet. And it's crazy. And people are breaking these cars and they're complaining to these manufacturers. But I'm telling y'all, anything is gonna break. Anything can break, especially if you're jumping it like that and you're not landing. It's gonna break. Now you can upgrade them and all that, but I like to kind of get something and kind of run it as it is at the manufacturer kind of set up. I mean, things are gonna break here and there. If they do start to break, then I will upgrade. If I see something that's continuously breaking, I will upgrade it. But Like I said, jumping your car is 30, 40 feet up in the air and stuff. Especially it depends on what the area you're jumping at. If you land wrong, it's a done deal. Something is going to break. I expect to break something if I jump this up 30 feet in the air, 40 feet, and not land wrong. Now, I did do that with this. And you guys saw that I did crack the front bumper and stuff. But I only did that a couple times where I landed wrong. Every other time I jumped it, I did land on his tires. And like I said, these tires, since they are bigger and beefier, they do help with jumping and landing. Even if you're kind of landing kind of wrong, you might have seen some of the videos how I landed and then hit the throttle just a little bit. I didn't really nail it. And it kind of helped flatten the truck out so that it landed on the tires and stuff, not landing at angles. So. Shout out RC asked about a servo. The servo I have in here is actually like 700-800 ounces. I think I can't remember the specs on it, but if you can get a high torque servo, I say get it. I say if you get this truck, this is gonna just be me. I was trying to test the Spectrum system, and the Spectrum system did fine. Up to about, I think I had a 19 in there, so it's probably gonna do fine to about a 22 pinion gear, and you'll probably get in the high 40s with that. And I may go back to that, but I did want to try this 800 kV motor. But if you get something like this, I would put the best electronics and buy the best batteries you can for it. If you want to go with the Spectrum system, this is good because it's 259 and it's compatible. It's a direct fit up in here. And then just watch your temps and gearing and stuff, and you can get about close to 50 or maybe a little bit more if you get about a 20, 21 tooth in there and get some good batteries for it. So you can do that. And then you can put the stock servo in there. And this is something I'm going to say, and I don't recommend, but I've tried it and I've heard other people doing it before. With the stock servos that come in these, the Spectrum, I think it's the S905 servo, since this ESC can only go 6 volts and then bumped up to 8.4. And I'm going to just beat a dead horse. Hopefully Spectrum will do an update, and this will do 7.4 at some point in the future. You can run that because when I ran this about 4 or 5 more times, I went ahead and we bumped the voltage up to 8.4 and the servo was fine. Now, I don't recommend it because you can burn your servo up, but you can still get away with the stock Spectrum electronics in here and be fine with it. But if you want to go, I'd say if you want to go faster than 50 miles per hour, if you want a 60 plus mile per hour truck, I do recommend you go ahead and upgrading the electronics in there, putting a Max 5 and stuff in there as well. I do recommend if you want that kind of speed, do that. Now with speed, speed kills. So if you're 60 miles per hour and you're jumping and you're crashing and flipping and stuff, this is a big truck. So you can't expect possibly some stuff to break. So that's just my 2 cents in my ramp on that. Sorry, I see you guys are asking questions too. What's going on, Thomas? Nope, no center drive shafts are bent either. Not that I recall. You guys see that right there? I'm gonna roll this back and forth. You guys see it's right there where my finger, right there. Now you guys know, the guys with experience know that if the chassis was bent, because some people say, oh, you bent your chassis. If the chassis was bent, trust me, these would have bent as well. Those drive shafts would sew a little, it would just have a slight bend and stuff in it. So that has been good. Chris, I'm like you. I like all RSs. I know there's several questions coming in, so let me scroll down and see what's going on. What's going on, RC? Next Tuesday. Appreciate you joining. Oh, dang. Thomas said his friend jumped one of his, I think, drag arm is insured in the front end, so. So Perry's Eyes said he's really thinking about adding this to a stable. I think it's worth it. I do. I mean, that's, like I said, that's just me throwing it out there. I think if you guys know, I got the Kraton EXB, I got the Mojave EXB, and then I got the Kraton 8S EXB. And I had a quick video of that, and I'm going to get all 3 of these out and run them as well. It's just nice if you run RC cars, just to add that to your collection. I mean, it's just nice to have that because the feeling of having something like this, you're out driving it and you're saying to yourself, literally, I got a Kraton EXB. You're out there running, you just have that feeling for it. So I have an X-Maxx, and I drive my X-Maxx too. And you guys know I have a V1 and V2 crate, and actually I have a V2 crate. And one of my friends has got my V1 because he didn't have a big truck, and that's why I got a V2. And then I got an Outcast. So they all, like I said, between the Outcast, the crate, and the X-Maxx, those are the three big. Those are the three big ones, and they all perform differently in their own way and stuff, and they all perform good at what they do. Like for this, I'm thinking about that Proline body because I really like that look on there, and then changing out a few things. I really love the way that the Proline body looks on here as well. So that I won't keep trying to damage this body up as well. So what's going on, Damp Action RC? Appreciate you joining. Okay. RC next Tuesday is going to take his out in the morning. Get it going. So Stewie Griffith says between the Felony or Infraction, ew, that's going to depend on your look. The Infraction version 2 does have that handbrake on it. I don't have a version 2 Infraction. It'd be nice and cool to test that, but the Felony is good too. Now the thing with the Felony is just tires. That's just the one thing with Felony. It's gonna be the tires. But man, that thing looks so sweet and so nice. And I haven't brought mine out forever today. I got tons of things to try to do videos and stuff on, but maybe I will at some point in time. So between the two, it's kind of hard. It's just gonna depend on what look you want with that. Everyone loves the Felony, and a lot of people love the Infraction as well. So I don't know, maybe somebody else can help answer that as well. He wants to know between the Felony and the Infraction, which one should he get? Center drive shafts, everything seems to be okay with this. So got the Hobby Wing shout out. RC says he has a Hobby Wing 1100 combo. Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, I'm running Gens Ace in my SMCs. Last time I ran my Gens Ace was when I put this motor in there because my other ones weren't charged. So I'll probably run those Gens Aces tomorrow. I got two 8,000 milliamp 4S's to run as well. So, yo, Addicted to RC, let me know how fast that is with that 22 from that Spectrum system. I may for now go back to the Spectrum system because finding pinion gears for this 8mm shaft is kind of difficult. I mean, I did see a place that had like one or two, and I need to get it on order and stuff, but I'm just like, yeah, just kind of back and forth. Maybe at some point in time, someone will make a spur gear, an optional spur gear that uses mod 1.5 gears and not mod 1. That can just be an adaptation you put on there for it. So that'd be pretty cool. That way you could change that stuff out and use those different gear ratios and stuff with it. What's going on, Thomas? We showed that center drive shaft and stuff earlier. Nothing's bent on there at all. The truck is held up. I mean, people were asking me, did it bend? Did it break and stuff? It's held up from what you guys saw in the videos. And I did run it like that throughout this week. Like I said, I ran the car about 10 times. And I may take it out tonight just to run it because I'm kind of crack feeding now that I'm looking at it as well. It's 7 o'clock, so. Tyler, the diffs are holding up fine. No issues with the diffs. I've run this like up to 10 times. No problems. I've done wheelies and stuff in it. You guys can see. If you can, you probably can't, but you'll see it in just a second. You see how I've scraped all this up. So I did run wheelies down the street with this off camera because I was testing the diffs and stuff for it. And I did land a couple of times on throttle as well just to test it. So thus far, no issues with that. So if it happens, I'll let you guys know, but I haven't seen any issues with that yet. So what's going on, Mason? All right, scrolling down. What's going on, Catherine? Your last comment that just came in. We're just chatting about this for just a little bit, trying to answer any questions you guys may have. We went over a couple things. People said, are there any broken parts on it? For some of you guys just joining, I've just cracked the front bumper. That's been it. We've talked about as far as systems and stuff like that. You can get away with the Spectrum system, ADAS system, if you want to go about 50 miles per hour and a little bit below and keep the temps at good. If you want to start hitting 55, 60, I do recommend you change the system out. But for those that get this and want to just get started and get it running, I do recommend the Spectrum system. Get you some good lipos and you're good to go. So, and I like the truck so far. I actually said if I actually got to do some stuff, but I gotta, I'm probably gonna take it with me and run it before I head out. So, this is all stock. I haven't changed anything. Everything in here is stock. Nothing has changed at all. And you guys should know when I get my cars, I try to run them as all box stock as I can. Every now and then I may do some minor changes and stuff like that, but I try to keep them for the most part box stock so you guys can see how they handle and the durability of them as well. Nope, no issues with leaky shocks or anything. Um, he said he had his mines haven't leaked. It's been like I said, it's been pretty good. No issues, no problems. The only broke part was their front bumper. I mean, I did. In case you guys want to see this a little bit, look at the bottom of that chassis. So yes, I have run the heck out this thing. You can't even see the words. Just don't blast. Just don't bash. Blast. You can barely see that. Have to get a new chassis at some point. Yeah, right. Yep, I got a Kaiju. You can see my final review on the Kaiju. I put that up a couple of weeks ago. Just search my channel for my final thoughts on the Kaiju, and you'll kind of see that Kaiju's pretty much good out the box, except for the tires and wheels. I think you need to change those out. So, Perez, we're gonna send your wife a note and tell her you bought her one. You bought her a Felony. What's going on, E-Rock? Appreciate it. All right, looking at some of y'all's comments. So, any other questions, concerns about this truck? Things y'all want to know? Things y'all want to look up close? That's why we're kind of here right now. Well, you can always sell, Amar. You can sell your Kaiju and get one. I've seen people do that. Get a car. They only liked it so much. They're like, man, something else kind of. They just sell it and get something else. So, for my Kaiju, I put the Traxxas Max tires and wheels on there, and it's been fine. I can run it on 6S and control it. I think the stock tires are. They shouldn't have put those on there. They grip way too much. So. If I try aftermarket tires on it, maybe some Pro lines. I've been looking at those, but right now everything's good with it. I want to continue to run it in its stock configuration, just so you guys can see that in the videos and know what you're getting. Because everybody that gets these trucks can spend a lot of money, and after you buy the electronics, then you're thinking about tires and wheels. So I like to show you guys how these run stock out the box and keep it kind of stock. So. DC Nerd, the ballooning's not too bad. When I did put this 800 kV motor in here and geared it up, they did balloon, but they didn't balloon where they popped off the wheel. So that was a good thing. Even with me jumping it and stuff and landing on the side, they didn't come off the wheel. So that's been a good thing. And these tires are actually good. With the beefier, I mentioned this earlier, they're really big and beefy. So when you jump and land, they do absorb a lot of that impact as well. So what's going on, GS, that is? Oh, Mario said he can't sell it. Okay. Well, they do have that easy pay option as well. So Horizon has an easy pay option if you guys were looking at getting it there. If they run out of stock, I believe Tiny Adventures has it. A-Main has it as well. I don't think A-Main has any kind of a three-way or payment breakup gateway, but I know that if, say, for instance, you were going to get this and it's $699 and you don't want to shuck out $700 right now, but you can shuck out $250, $300. Just put it on Easy Pay. And if you guys don't know how the Easy Pay function works, is you're limited to about $800 to $1,000. So if I was going to go out and buy this brand new and it's $699, what they're going to do is they're going to take the payments and they're going to break it the payments over 3 months with no interest or anything in it. So on as soon as you hit add to cart and hit submit and you hit the easy pay button, you'll see the payments being divided into 3 payments, and they're going to take the first payment out. So if I bought it today on the 12th, they're going to take their next payment out on April the 12th or 11th, and then the final payment out on May the 11th or 12th. But you get the car on the first shipment with it. So that's kind of how the easy pay function works, and it helps you get. That's how I get a lot of my cars and stuff too. So, no problem. Right? I try to show this pretty much stock so you guys can see that. How do you like? This Spectrum's in there because it's what I had. I have it in a lot of my other cars that I run, and I wanted to test it out in here because I know a lot of people will get the Spectrum system for it. So that's why I put the Spectrum system in here. I wanted to test it, and I wanted to test it with this motor. Now, it can work with this motor, just not with this super high gearing I got. I mean, it's a 34 pinion and a 39 spur. I mean, I don't even run it on my limitless. So, of course, this is going to overheat. I didn't expect it not to overheat. But I got about 5 or 6 minutes and then it overheated. But if I gear down, I think this combo will still be fine. It won't have as high as the top end, but we'll see what kind of speeds we get tomorrow. And then I'm probably going to gear it probably about 28 or 27. And that's probably going to be the gear I'm going to stick with to watch the temperatures on it as well. So can I use these upgraded shocks on an Outcast? You sure can. Okay, so uh Boy 310 says A-Main's got a firm. So you can use a firm too. So a lot of these online companies do have these payment gateways where you can break your payments up into three. So don't think about it as, oh my gosh, I'm going to spend $700. Just break it up into 3 payments, and just it'll automatically come out. I mean, that's one good way of getting cars and stuff like that. So as far as Red Cat parts, NZ Hobbies has a few. Tiny Adventures has a few, and then of course you can find some on eBay as well. I don't know have a certain distributor I go to just for parts for it, but oh dang, somebody said they just bought the Kraton 8S a day before the EXB came out. Send it back. So somebody saying affirm with interest, easy pay, zero interest. Now, I'm gonna put this out there. Is sometimes with Affirm there is no interest. I've purchased something last year, I think it was on Affirm, and there was no interest. And then they let you do between 3 to 6 months sometimes, but it depends. I mean, sometimes, most of the time, it is interest, but I've purchased one or two things with no interest with it as well. Yeah, I hope they do a Typhon 8S as well. I I think it's gonna be something very unique because I think Red Cat's got the only big buggy out there like that. Um, that would be pretty cool because Red Cat and then a Rovin's got a big buggy too as well. But it would be cool if Arrma did it because it'd be people be used to seeing Arrma with a big car like that. If they did this, they did possibly an Outcast as well. I think we saw a couple parts on the Arrma site for the Outcast EXB parts, so it's probably coming. What's up, T Gritty RC? Appreciate you joining. Looks like some other people are kind of joining in and stuff. So, guys, we went over several things. I could recap real quick. People kind of want to know what's broken. Nothing's broken on the truck. I just cracked the front bumper. Nothing is bent on it or anything like that. The truck has run well. Diffs have held up. I tried it with the Spectrum system. I did that because I wanted to run it in there because it's an affordable 8S or 8S capable system that can run a fifth scale and sixth scale car. I only recently just switched the motor out because I wanted to see, one, can the speed controller handle this 800 kV? because it is a bigger motor, and then two, the performance of it. And it did overheat, but it overheated because of the gearing. Like I said, it's a 39 tooth spur gear and a 34 tooth pinion gear. And I don't run in my limitless. My limitless has got a 46 or 47 and about a 28 or 29 in there. So I did expect it to overheat. And I'll use this same gearing in there just to do a test tomorrow. And then I'll probably go down to a 28 with this particular setup that's in here right now. So that's just a kind of a recap. People asked about certain other things, the tires and all that. The tires are a good addition to it with the other upgraded parts as well, because they help absorb a lot of the impact and stuff. So when you're jumping and landing. Okay, DC, appreciate that. See what else is going on real quick. I'm a buggy guy. Guy on the move says I'm a buggy guy. Laugh out loud. But I've got a Techno MT4 MT. I'm just the RC guy kind of. I mean, I don't do too much crawling that much. I mean, there's a group that actually goes every Sunday, every Saturday morning. Actually, I think they used to call me periodically. I just wasn't getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning, but they crawl up Stone Mountain and stuff. So, and then we got the BBC Outdoors that's up here that does a lot of crawling. It actually has a track and stuff in his backyard. So, yeah, guy moves fingers crossed for a Typhon 8S. I believe it is. Now, this is probably a question somebody else out there may be able to answer real quick about the chassis on the EXB 8S versus the regular Kraton, because this is a 5mm chassis, and I believe the Kraton 8S may be 4mm. Is that Perth, Western Australia? What's going on? He wants to give him a quick shout out there. Yep, Matthew, you're right. It's also 775. It's made of a 775 aluminum in there. So it is going to be a lot stronger because of the material it's made with. Even if they're the same thickness, the material is going to be different as well. So what's up? I'm not going to butcher your first name. I'm just going to say Jackson. So you just joined. What's going on? We got a couple people joining in and out. So we'll probably be live for just a little bit longer. Derek, the battery replacement is just like the other version as well. I do think they should do something with the battery straps. It should probably just be regular straps they put up in there and make them a little bit longer, like in the Limitless or something like that. I do think if they do a running update, they should probably look at those battery straps and doing some modifications or changing those out just a little bit. But we'll see. Arrma's good at, if enough people, I think, if they're talking about it, they'll look at it and they'll just add it as a running update. So. Jonathan just asked me, was the 8S more fun than the 6S? That's kind of hard because the 8S is going to go a couple places the 6S can't. I'm going to do a running video really soon where I have the 8S and the 6S out, and I'm running those both. And then I also bring the Mojave out as well. I do need to re-gear this a little bit because it will overheat after several minutes of running. But I kind of enjoy them both for kind of what they are. The 8S is just going to be able to go more places that the 6S can't go. Oh, these tires are dwarfing the... somebody asked how big are these tires compared to the Traxxas E-Max. Not the X-Maxx, I guess the E-Max. These are dwarfing those tires. I appreciate that, Frankie. Yeah, we'll get this out running. I guess we'll try to get the smaller cars out too, running for Super Speed Saturday as well. I'm guessing about 52 to 53 or 4 miles per hour, but we'll see when we get that out, get them batteries charged up. So, oh, he's talking about this quote. So I do have a store, and you guys may see that he's talking about this sweatshirt. That's one of my sweatshirts there. I do have a t-shirt store. You guys see that in my videos. There's a little, it's in the video description, and there's also an advertisement for it as well. There's t-shirts like this out there that I have, plus JTRC t-shirts as well. So all that stuff is out there as well. It's a whole store. It's got all kinds of stuff out there, all kinds of different t-shirts and stuff. So if you ever want to get one of these, they're in color. They're not black and white like this. So the line is in color and stuff that's out there, because I do have sweatshirts and t-shirts myself that are like that. So I had a Track Star a while back. I think I put that in one of my boards, so I have tried them out before. So, all right, Stewie, peace out. I won't be too far behind you. I got to get some food too. Lou asked, did I check all the diffs to make sure they had oil in them? I did not. I could tell by the way it was running, it had oil in it. And I could tell when I put more power in it that it still had oil and stuff in it. So I'll probably do that check probably around my 20th run. So we're about halfway there, just to check the diff oils and stuff. So guys, we're probably going to end this in just a few. I'll give it 60 minutes. So we'll have about 9 more minutes to kind of answer any questions or have any close-up looks that you guys may have. Or y'all may want to just chat amongst yourselves. But I did, like I said, did want to go live, show this to you guys, answer questions. I think Arrma did a good job, again, on this. Somebody, I mean, people are gonna break this. I mean, they're gonna go out and jump, and who knows what they're gonna say and do. It is what it is. I mean, whatever. They're take out and jump it 50 feet in the air, and then they're gonna say whatever with it and all that. That's not me to do it. If I do it, I'll do it once or twice, but then that's about it. I'm not gonna continuously do it to try to break it. So, because like I said, everything is breakable. Appreciate that, MMRC. Yep, it has the spiral cut gears as well. And they need spiral. You wouldn't want straight cut gears or something like this. You want the spiral cut for the durability. Spiral cut is going to be a little bit slower than straight cut. I believe what it was Mugen did a test a while back. They had the MBX7 and then they have the MBX8 out. And they were doing some tests. And I think one of their racers was running and he was like winning. But in the corners, some of the other guys was like catching them. And they realized, and I may not be 100% correct on this, but they realized that even though the spiral cut gears are a lot stronger, they don't give you that strong acceleration out the corner and stuff. So from the MBX7 to the MBX8, they went ahead and got rid of the spiral cut and went with straight cut. So I'm just going to leave the body like it is. Brother, he asked me about this. I'm just going to leave it like it is. I really want to test it how it is without doing any work to it. I really want to see how it's going to hold up out the box without having to, modify this and do this and that with it. Because like I said, I don't plan on, launching it and landing it on this roof and stuff. I really want to see how this holds up. And it's held up pretty well. I did flip on the roof and stuff several times. So I may take it out later tonight and get a quick run in. Yep, on the very first run with the Spectrum system, I had the 47.2 spur in it and a 19 pinion gear. And then just recently, I added this in. I did a quick video of this. What's going on, RC enthusiasts? I canceled my order for the EXB. I'm putting down the roving. Okay. Did you get your roving from Tiny Adventures? Oh, well, show you guys real quick. If you look at my last running video, it's an 800 kV motor in there and the Spectrum ESC. The gearing is too high though. I put the spool from the Limitless in there because it's an 8mm shaft on that motor. So that's what I had to put up in there. And then the gearing is 39. I wanted to do the 47, but that won't fit. I think that's too big for it. The 47.2 spur gear is going to be too big. So that's what I'm running in there. I changed out the servo as well just to try something different. The servo cost me about $50 from Amazon. I think it's about 800 ounces of torque, which is plenty, and it's got different speed variations and torque variations, of course, if you bump the voltage up on it. But the servo, I believe, cannot do, if I recall, cannot do 8.4 volts. It can do 6 and 7.4. So shock shafts, everything is holding up. Show this to you guys real quick. Hopefully y'all can see that. No bends or anything there. He's a little dirty, dusty because I was running him in a dirt field earlier. I think yesterday I was. So you guys will see how move this box out the way that I had this mounted on. I mean, you can't really tell the chassis. I guess don't put it flat on there, but chassis and everything is held up well. So, like I said, not saying it's not gonna break or bend, because you know somebody's gonna go out there and they're gonna break it or bend it and say, "See, I broke the core," and I'm like, "Well, you just jumped it 50 feet in the air and landed. What do you expect?" So. We probably will, Alex, at some point in time. You know, we both live on opposite sides of the town, so. The RC enthusiast, I do about 10 to 15. I think when I took it to the first run, I did some jumps. Like I said, I need to put that video up. I need to go back and try to edit it and put that video, because I did a lot of more jumps than what you guys saw. We did a lot more stuff with it. It's gonna be a long video though. I just thought about that, but it's probably gonna be 20 minutes of just running this thing. That Sunday when we were out running and stuff like that. So we had other cars out there running. So I'll try to go through and get that. I'll probably just put it together. I didn't worry about music and just let it roll. So when you say full send it, I'm not sure what you mean. I mean, I sent it about as much as I was going to send it Sunday. And then you guys saw that I was jumping it the other day, and I purposely jumped it and landed on concrete because I wanted to see how the truck was going to hold up. And it's held up fine. I just hated that I scraped and scratched the bottom of my chassis up so bad, but. He said, "What gear would I run with an 1100 kV motor?" I don't know. That's going to be an interesting setup. There is an app out there that can get you particular speed, but you need to worry about temperature. So there's something I'm going to be doing in just a little bit. Kimberly has an app out there, a speed app, and I'm going to be looking at that and doing some trial test and speed with that as well. I'm not sure if the app does temperatures, but I'm going to look at putting that to its test on Super Speed Saturday. So you guys want to see some super big jumps, go to RC Enthusiast's channel. He said he's doing some big jumps in there. He's running a 3547. Okay. So maybe I can put a 47. I didn't know that would fit up in here. So I'll try. I think with this motor mount, it may be a little different, but I'll try to see if I can fit a 47 spur in here. I don't know if I will, so. What's up, Huckleberry? Yeah, appreciate you joining in when you did. We're about to end this. So if y'all have questions, go ahead and ask them now. Let's see real quick. I bought my Kraton secondhand, and when I rebuilt the rear diff after it cracked, there was no fluid in it and replaced it with mud. Okay. That was Damp Action RC. All right, MMRC. See you later. Appreciate you joining. Trying to scroll through a couple of these comments and stuff as well. So people asking me about the diffs. I see a few here. Matthew said real quick, 39 spur, 34 tooth limitless pinion works good. I'm using that with my 800 kV motor. Yeah, it's just not working with this. It's gonna overheat. Y'all saw that. It's about 5-6 minutes in, it overheated. I appreciate that. So he loves my channel and stuff. So RC Enthusiast said he's running the XL X2 and 1100 kV motor. Okay. That should be good. So, all right, we got one or two more questions, then we're going to end this. Jonathan said, JT, Traxxas X-Maxx or the Kraton X-Maxx EXB, which is better in your opinion? We talked about that a little bit earlier. I like them both for what they're made for. The X-Maxx is a monster truck. The Kraton is a truggy. Kraton's going to handle a lot better. It's going to jump better. It's just going to handle better than an X-Maxx. The X-Maxx is a monster truck. Durability-wise, it's kind of tough to say. It just depends on how you run it and where you run it. And it's really going to depend on the driver. I mean, if you're jumping and you're not landing right and all that, you know, anything's gonna break. So I like them both for what they are. If you're comparing the EXB to the X-Maxx, the EXB is a roller, so you do have to buy electronics for it. The X-Maxx comes ready to run. But if you get the X-Maxx, and I'm just beating this dead horse, and you start to gear up, you will have some small issues with the electronics and stuff. Because I've seen people talk about that. And once you start gearing up, those electronics start getting more of a strain and stuff. So you will have to upgrade the electronics on it. So just consider that. If you had to choose one, I'd flip a coin, bro. That's the best way I can tell you. All right. We think the biggest size motor you could fit in the Kraton. Well, this is a large motor. So I don't know if you're talking about KV wise and all that, but this is a huge motor. This is bigger than a red can bull. So a solo red can. So this motor is huge. I should have had another motor out to show that to you guys. So Paul said, where do we find rear RPM A-arms for this? You could probably go to Horizon and type in RPM or RPM A-arms for Kraton, and they'll come up for them. Horizon will have them out there. So, all right, RC Enthusiasts, I'll see you later, guys. I'm going to end this in just a minute. I can't really access the computer right now. If anybody can help Paul out, just message me. He says he can't find rear A-arms, RPM or regular. They should have them. Horizon should have them. If not, check over at Tower Hobbies and A-Main. One of those should have it. So, Alex asked, what kind of runtime am I getting? I think about 11, 12 minutes with this setup because this gearing is way too high. So, what's up, PGRC Plus? Appreciate you joining. I know we're going to be logging out of here in just a minute. So, okay. Tower has them in, Paul? Thank you for watching it too, Matthew. What's going on, Gus? We about to end this in just a few minutes. We just went over a couple things as we were just trying to go live real quick and talk about this. Yeah, close up on the motor. Getting out this chair. The motor's huge, guys. Show you how big it is. This is a receiver. I actually have a couple over there too. The motor's big. I mean, this is a big motor. I think it's the motor that goes in the DBXLE. So that's the setup for this right here. So far, so good. I'll be having a super speed Saturday on this coming up tomorrow. I don't know what time I'll be able to get out there and get it running, but I will definitely get that going. So, oh, that's cool, Gus. Appreciate you joining. All right, y'all. I am going to end this. I appreciate you guys joining. Hopefully, I answered all. I think I answered everyone's question on this. The biggest thing was, did it break? Nope. Just in the front, we got that cracked, but I'm not worried about that. Shock shafts didn't bend. I haven't bent the chassis yet on the Kraton or the Outcast, but I haven't really like jumped them more than 30, 40 feet, except for at the BMX track, but I landed pretty good on all those. I did break the rear wing mount on my Outcast once, but so far so good. The things that they've done to make this a lot stronger, I think they've done a good job, especially with these tires to absorb that impact. I just can't stress that enough. If I say they should improve anything with this, I do think they need to look at these battery straps for here, because that does take you a second to deal with that. I think if they were just a long strap where you can strap it and not have to do all this, I think it'd be fine. But that's just me with that. I think these straps need to be changed out or modified. But I mean, that's just, like I said, that's very minor with this. So, all right, guys, I will see y'all later. I'll see you guys tomorrow on Super Speed Saturday. So thanks for tuning in.